Hello everyone. Today we're going to see what are the major trends, the major influences, the history and the evolution of the Malayalam drama in the post-independence period, that's after 1947. There is no denying that there was a lot of genuine interest for the theatre and for the literature of the theatre. The 50 years after independence was a very productive period, at least in terms of quantity. Most plays were written and they were published during this time in Malayalam literature than during any other former period. And the theatre audience in Kerala grew in size throughout the length and breadth of the state. But we find that there is a great divergence between what is theatre and what is drama all through the half century. Now, why do we say so? Because good plays remained unstaged, while the popular theatrical pieces did not possess substantial literary qualities to become sort of masterpieces. Now, let's see the major initial influences that came in the evolution of the post-independence Malayalam drama. In Malayalam drama, a change was in the air even before independence, because we have the great plays written by N. Krishnapilla. The three important plays of N. Krishnapilla were Bhagna Bhavanam, Kanyaka and Balabalam. And his influence on the later playwrights came to bear fruit in the early years of independence. In dramatists such as K. Surendran, the early plays of C. N. Srikandan Nair, the early plays of G. Shankarapilla, they all bear the marks of the influence of N. Krishnapillai. Then Pulemana Parameshwaran Pillai, he wrote Samatvabadi with an experimental orientation. And this trend also bore fruition in the years after independence, as we find in the works of numerous other playwrights like N. Pillai or K.T. Mohammed or Aziz and a host of others. So that is how the pre-independence trends lead to the post-independence trends in the Malayalam drama. So it is a major continuum. There is no break in the process of transition. It takes place very naturally. Now, let's see what were the major trends that we can clearly see during this period, or the different types of drama, the different types of theatre that existed. Firstly, the communist theatre. For example, you have KPAC, Deshabhimani, all these were the communist theatres. Then we have the commercial theatre like those run by N. Pillai or P.J. Antony or Thikkurishi Sukumaran Nair. So the communist theatre as well as the commercial theatre, they competed with each other to win over audience, and at times we find that these two merged together. Another major presence is the presence of the amateur theatre. For example, the Sri Chitra Tirunal Vayanashala or Kalavedi or school groups, they catered to the tastes of a limited number of theatre enthusiasts. Some playwrights who still continued to write in the older tradition like Kainikara Padmanabha Pillai or N.P. Chellappan Nair or T.N. Gopinathan Nair, they all continued to write in the older tradition. And what was the older tradition? The historical or Puranic plays. So we find a continuation of the older tradition even in the post-independence period. And there were also numerous comedies, social satires and comedies which were written that exposed the follies and foibles of the contemporary middle classes, the urban middle classes. And we can say that such comedies might have drawn their inspiration from C.V. Raman Pillai or from E.V. Krishna Pillai, who is known as the Kerala Ibsen. Now let's look at the theatre activities which were there in the northern parts of Kerala, that is in Malabar. In northern Kerala, we have the presence of Kendra Kala Samiti, and the Kendra Kala Samiti was responsible for awakening an enlightened interest in drama and theatre. Like in the south, we have the initiatives by Topil Bhasi. Similarly, we've got numerous playwrights in the north. To mention a few, you have Cherugad, Thikkodiyan, P.C. Kuttikrishnan, Idasheri Govindan Nair, and all others. They all produced socially relevant plays. And later on, we have the presence of K.T. Mohammed, who is the author of the three famous plays. Karavatta Pashu, that is the cow gone dry. Idu Bhumiyana, this is earth, and several other well-known plays. So it was around these literary figures that the theatre activities in Malabar was mainly centered. And we also have the presence of C.J. Thomas. And now C.J. Thomas was very much convinced that the life of drama lay in its stage presentation, theatrical techniques, and not merely in the written text. And the most important plays of C.J. Thomas are Avan Veendum Varunu, that is, Behold, He Comes Again. The second most important play of C.J. Thomas is Nootiettil Crime 27, Crime 27 of 1128. And the third play by C.J. Thomas is Aa Manusyan Nee Thanne, Thou Art That Man. But unfortunately, C.J. Thomas could not see any of his plays performed to his satisfaction during his lifetime. He was quite a perfectionist. Now, however, coming to another major initiative that took place is the coming of native theatre. Now, during this time, almost all good playwrights faced the dilemma. That is, like some of them were satisfied with their written work, but others they craved for more theatrical effects. And that is where the native theatre comes in. Kavalam Narayana Panikkar and G. Shankarapilla. They tried to find a solution for this anomaly and produce quality plays by bringing up a lot of innovations. Now, Kavalam, he concentrated on poetic drama and he drew inspiration from the folk theatre as well as the Indian literary tradition. It was not simply a mechanical adaptation of the peripheral features, but it was a strikingly creative adaptation of ancient techniques with a new meaning and a new force. And what was the speciality of Shankarapilla? Shankarapilla resorted to the use of imagination to supply whatever was deficient in experimental drama, avoiding the monotonous, stereotyped dialogues and the illusions of realism. Now, both of them, both Kavalam as well as Shankarapilla, were trying to explore the native theatre. Now, how did the native theatre come into being? Numerous discussions took place at Nadaga Kalaris, which existed throughout Kerala. And in these Nadaga Kalaris, it had the active participation of numerous talented writers and dramatists, such as Srikandan Nair himself, M. Govindan, M. V. Devan, M. K. Sanu, Ayyappa Panikkar, P. K. Venukuttan Nair, G. Shankarapillai. All of them came together and they discussed. They discussed about the new innovations which could be brought into theatrical techniques. At the same time, these Nadaga Kalaris also came up with actual dramatic productions. And all these paved the way for rediscovering of our native theatre. And this is continued by the later experimental works of Kavalam as well as Shankarapillai. Now, the Malayalam drama, as it reaches the phase of its maturity, we find the establishment of the School of Drama at Thrissur under the jurisdiction of University of Calicut. So the establishment of the School of Drama is actually a byproduct of all these efforts. And we have the later plays by C. N. Srikandan Nair, Kanchana Sita, Saketham and Lanka Lakshmi. It was a trilogy. Then the later plays by G. Shankarapillai, Karutta Devatte Thedi, and the mature plays written by Kavalam Narayana Panikkar, which is Devattar, Avanavan Kadamba and Theyya Theyyam. All these are brilliant examples of Malayalam drama as it approaches its maturity, along with the three other plays of C.J. Thomas that we've already mentioned. There is a profusion of playwrights and plays in Malayalam drama. There are numerous. To mention a few, you have Sauparnika, Velliyarcha, and Padipura by Narendra Prasad. I know Keralites might be familiar with Narendra Prasad. He's a very famous film director. He's also a good film actor. He's been a director of several plays, a very sensitive man who had a tragic understanding of life. At the same time, he has also very finely depicted the lighter moments of life. Then P.K. Venukuttan Nair, who is famous for his play Elamkulatte Amma, and the other experimental works done by K.T. Mohammed, Aziz, and others could also be mentioned here. Om Cheri or N.N. Pillai has got several plays to his credit. The most famous one is Tevarude Ana, God's Elephant. Then Vayala Vasudevan Pillai, who was the former director of the Calicut University School of Drama, he is the author of The Cosmic Vision, that is Vishwadarshanam, and also Tula Shivanam and Agni. Among the other playwrights of this half century, we could also mention G. Gopalakrishnan, who is the author of the play Cemetery. Then Srirangam Vikraman Nair, who is the author of Chidal Puttugal or Ant Hills. Then we have C.P. Rajashekharan, who is the author of plays like Pradimagal Vilkanand, Statues for Sale. P. Balachandran, who is the author of Pavam Usman. T.M. Abraham, who wrote Niral Kudaram or Shadow Tent. Sri Janardhanan, the author of Viral Padugal. Then we have Madhu Master, who is the author of the play Caligula. K.S. Srinath, the author of Devashilagal. So apart from them, we have many innovative young dramatists, young theatrical performers coming into the field, even a lot of engagement by women in the theatrical field in Kerala. But we find that nowadays the power of the theatre has largely been replaced by the coming of the digital media, the online as well as the television and the films. So we do not find as many as crowd in this field of theatre as we have in the fields of poetry and fiction. Novels, poetry, fiction, short stories in Malayalam is more dense and it's more vibrant and active today than Malayalam theatre. Then that is largely because of the power of the films, the television, the online media that has come in. Now let's see some of the major figures who have contributed much to the growth, to the evolution of Malayalam drama in the post-independent spirit. We'll have a look through some of the major writers. This is N. Krishna Pillai. Then we have Cherugard, C.J. Thomas, K.T. Mohammed, Kavalam, and G. Shankara Pillai, C. N. Srikantan Nair, and Narendra Prasad. Now this is the Kerala Sangeeta Nadaga Academy and the School of Drama at Thrissur. So that is all about the evolution, the growth, the present trends, and the present condition of Malayalam drama. That is what we've seen, and thank you for listening. Thank you so much.